In the experience of energy profiling, I notice patterns and trends, especially when people misprofile themselves. You've chosen the type that's not truly yours. It really depends on your accuracy of how you interpret the 5 assessment tools in my energy profiling system. And in the case of, are you a type 3 that's not really a type 3? You may be misunderstanding how this assessment of your behavior really is meant to be interpreted. So let's review that. The pattern that I've seen frequently that I want to explain to you more fully today is when a type 1 with a secondary 4 or a type 4 with a secondary 1 has profiled themselves as a type 3. And as I saw that happening repeatedly, I had to step back and look at that and go, what is it how they're interpreting this information that they would even come to that conclusion? And it interestingly had to do with a focus on results. In fact, some people will single that one item out and say, I like to keep to-do lists, so I must be a type 3. Now, every person has a style of managing their to-dos. We just always have a lot of to-dos in our world, so we're all going to manage them, and we're all going to want to create results. And that in and of itself is not the correct assessment. Well, you're a type 3, if that's your experience. So let me explain this a little more fully, especially with the type 1 secondary 4, type 4 secondary 1 combo, why you could confuse yourself to be a type 3. Well, with that result-oriented process of life that a type 3 moves forward in, very determined to get that result. They can even do it in the grocery store. The result is, I'm going to get in and out of here quick. I'm going to make practical choices and get good deals, and I'm going to move through the store with a swift, determined movement with a substantial quality to it, and job done. You can even see my body language right now is very type 3. Now, why would a type 1, secondary 4, even consider they might be a type 3? Well, you have this capacity to have the movement, move forward, energy, high movement. You like going towards things. Secondary type 4, focused outcome, bigger picture. This is what I want. This is the outcome. And so you think, moving towards it. But you're not doing it with that push quality. In fact, you may be more motivated by the idea of it and thinking, wow, I'm really drawn to that. That feels fun. That feels light. That feels exciting. I really want that. So I'm going to now focus on that and move forward. Now, type 4 with the secondary 1, you're going to stop and think through it a little bit. You're going to go inward first. Think this through. Okay, that's something I want. I want that outcome. Focused outcome. Type 1 energy kicks in and moves you forward towards the big picture outcome. And you typically are really committed to that big picture outcome, and you succeed. You make sure it happens. Now, how's that different than a type 3? First of all, the movement for each of those is more single-focused outcomes. Type 3s very successfully, and this is where there's been of late more commentary on multitasking really doesn't work. And I'm like, well, it kind of does in the world of a type 3. Because we can move very effectively at least 2 things forward, keeping the steps in play, keeping it going, and even 3 things forward, because we know where we are in each stage of that process towards that result. We're very aware of that for multiple things. In fact, we like kind of shifting gears because we just need to change it up. Now, type 1 will struggle with that more and get distracted if they have too many things in motion and, as the phrase goes, drop the ball and possibly not even pick up the ball and keep it going. They're more likely to drop the ball and the process stops. Not very common in the type 3 world. Now, a type 4, the secondary 1, they're more effective to be streamlined, focused outcomes. Of course, every woman, especially that's a mother and has many things going on, you're going to keep many things in motion, but you have this ability to achieve your bigger goals, your bigger outcomes with a more streamlined, singular approach. And then shifting from track to track rather than 3 tracks moving forward. You'll basically go from, it's like a CD. I'm on this track. Okay, now I'm going to stop that track. I'm going to move to this track. And you think about that exclusively. Where type 3, we can kind of inventory all of them and keep them all moving forward. And so you may have misprofiled yourself as a type 3 for those reasons. And really, your body language, your facial features are such telling aspects of who you are. And a type 1 body language doesn't look anything like type 3 body language. Neither does a type 4 body language look anything like a type 3 body language. And I encourage you, if you've not yet invested in the Dressing Your Truth courses or have not taken the time to go through all 4, that's a very telling process. You're going to sense as you observe and learn about the style elements, the 5 elements that create each of the 4 type styles, which feel congruent with you. Imagine yourself wearing those textures, fabrications, patterns, colors, the accessories true to each type. Your hairstyle a certain way. How would you feel? How would you look? You'll know. Just continue to learn, and as you learn, the awarenesses come alive, and you will profile yourself successfully.